Hey, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see. Yeah, can you see me?
I can.
Yeah, okay. Well, we got you projected on a wall here. Your heads are about 8 feet tall right now, so.
That makes me feel really relaxed.
Don't worry, we're all here in support of you, and we're all here to let you know how we want to get involved and help you guys out.
No, you guys have been, I can't even express how it so supports us and bolsters us, and Ross, that you're doing this. It's just.
Well, have you had a chance to tell Ross about what's going on tonight?
I told him what was going to happen, and he called, and I just frankly don't feel like comfortable talking to him on the phone because it's all recorded. And so when we see him Tuesday, we're going to tell him we can talk more in a more relaxed way.
Well, I want you to know just how many people are here in support. We have about 50 or 60 people here for you. So why doesn't everybody give a round of applause? Yeah, so, and you know, this is only the start, right? So we start with 60 tonight, and maybe we'll have 600 by the end of this campaign. What do you think? So,
that'd be great.
But
to do all kinds of things I would normally do, Harlan. Like speak at PorcFest, for example.
Oh, that's wonderful news that you're going to be at PorcFest. I'm so glad that you're going to be able to attend that. There's a lot of people in this room that I think are going to make the trip up there as well. So everybody's going to be able to meet you in person and shake your hand there. And give you a big hug. I wish I could give you a big hug, but Skype hasn't added that feature yet. So one day.
You're the one that had that idea. You got the idea for me to go and speak.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just doing what I can. I guess maybe I should share a little bit about how I stumbled into helping you guys out. I really didn't. To be honest, I didn't really feel that personally connected to the case at all initially when I heard about what had happened to Ross. I just thought, well, it's the American justice system. He'll probably be railroaded. That's really terrible. But then I got to meet you at the Bitcoin conference, and it made it very real and very personal for me. Being able to hear you talk about Ross and hear you talk about what a person, what a young man he is, and I felt compelled to help you out in any way. And so I really hope that there is a lot of other Harlans out there like me that actually get to meet you, and some people here tonight maybe get an insight and want to lend a helping hand and do what they can after actually getting to meet with you, because you're such wonderful people and you believe in Ross so much. It's heartbreaking to see you in these times, but you're doing better. And how is Ross doing? Can you tell us how he's doing in prison?
Doing well.
We should probably introduce you. I forget what is your name? The father.
That's his dad.
Right. It was Craig? Kurt. I'm sorry. So do you guys get to visit with Ross on a weekly basis, or?
Every Tuesday we see him for an hour.
See him for an hour, okay. And is
Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. It's a 6-story building. There's 500 guys on each story.
Wow.
And 5 100-man units. And it's all industrial green.
Of course.
And that's where he's hanging, you know. It's pretty bleak. But you know, the best hour of my week is to see him on Tuesday, really, and I know it's the best hour of this week.
Kirk said the other day, he goes, well, he's doing better than I would. Ross is amazing. He's just never complains. He's like, whenever I say, how are you? He goes, I'm good, you know? And he's just so positive. And he's now started teaching a physics class. He had 20 students in there today.
A physics class.
Physics class. And you know, we had a yoga class going, and he's just, Ross is just, I'm very proud of his handling it. It's pretty amazing, really is. And he is so, when I told him what we were planning and what was going on, he's just so bolstered by it. He's so moved that, you know, he's not alone, because he feels so cut off, you know. And so I say, no, you know, there's people out there that are really for you and are thinking of you, and that helps him so much. You know,
very true.
Really, it does. It's because it gets pretty, you know, it's like, well, there's same day, today's the same as the next day, same as the next day, and meanwhile, we're out here working our butts off, you know, for him. But he, you know, and sometimes I'm like, I wish Ross was here to help me with this, you know, like this computer problem or something. Like, oh yeah, no, yippee.
Well, one day we're going to all be able to see him in person. And,
no, can't wait to introduce him to all you guys.
Hopefully he'll be here in Austin, and we can have a big party with him when he's released. But that's so great that he's doing a physics and a yoga class. I had no idea. This is how intrepid and what courage that guy has. I don't know if I could do that. That really is impressive, and I think that speaks to what kind of person that we're all here in support of. You know, who we're here fighting for, and. I think everybody here doesn't. I mean, not everybody. I can't speak for everybody, but doesn't know Ross personally. So we're all trying to sort of piece together what kind of man he is, and I think there's nothing but really great stuff that we've heard. There hasn't been a cross word that I've heard from anybody that's actually interacted with him, and that's really important. And it's really great to see that, you know, there are so many people that I talk to that once you tell them about the case, and once you tell them about his background, how they immediately think differently about the case. And that's what I find communicating to my customers and to people here at the bookstore about what's going on with the case, that there's a lot of misinformation out there involving the case. Maybe we can talk a little bit about what's coming up as far as the case is concerned. Are there any hearings that we should be aware about and look for that are pending?
There's one Monday.
There's one Monday.
I'm not really sure. We're not really sure what's going to be addressed there, but you know, his attorney has submitted motions that there's a summary of them on our website that really bring to light how this case is about a lot more than Ross. What the government is doing is in opposition to amendments of the Constitution. So whether people agree with Silk Road or think Ross is a bad guy or whatever, it's really beyond that. It is about, if they can do this to him, they can do it to anybody. And you know, I don't want to get into all of that legal stuff, but it's alarming to me, not only, you know, personally I'm involved, of course, but just as a citizen, it's alarming to me how they're operating. And one of the things that's going on, one reason he has time to teach a physics class is because in February, the judge said he needed to be able to take part in his own defense by seeing the evidence the prosecution submitted, which is called discovery. It is now the end of May. He has yet to get a computer that can read the CDs they have submitted. They know this, and they're not giving up a computer. You know, and now I think our lawyers are going to go to court about it. But this is the kind of obstruction. And I'm like, he's allowed to take part in his defense. This is his right. Yeah. And it's being obstructed. That's just one example.
So you're not able to communicate with him either, since he doesn't have a computer. Is he not allowed to send emails?
No, he's not allowed to.
No, he doesn't have email like a normal prisoner does either. That's denied him. It's all a part of the denial of due process of the Fifth Amendment. What's going to happen Monday is they're going to have oral arguments concerning the first round of pretrial motions. And so we'll get to see, what the prosecution says, and we'll get to see what the defense say, and then eventually we'll see what the judge has to say about it, and we're hoping that the judge will throw it all out, if possible.
That would be a glorious miracle. It'd be great.
That would be wonderful.
One of the, just for an example, and actually Ryan pointed this out to me initially, and then since I've learned more about it, that was back in March, but is that, say, the computer hacking charge,
Right.
specifically in that charge, you have to have actually hacked into a computer. That's in the law. Well, they're not even alleging he did that, but they're applying that statute to him. You're not allowed to do that. You have to actually match up the allegation with the statute. That's in our Constitution.
Yeah, it seems deliberately like they're using the law and expanding the law to be able to basically ensnare lots of people that in the future that may or may not have anything to do with these charges. It seems like the law wasn't written specific enough to address the crimes of the Silk Road, so they're using existing law and trying to sort of bend its meaning and its definition. Is that sort of the feeling that you get, that if it were to go to trial based on how the law is written, that it would be very, very difficult to find Ross guilty, but based on the fact that they're trying to bend the law and expand the definition of the law or the interpretation of the law, is that really what sort of you see the prosecution's case amounting to? Or?
There are other lawyers who are saying the same thing, that that's what they're doing. And they even themselves state in writing that their law is expansive and adaptable. I find that alarming, that a prosecutor would call the law adaptable to what he thinks it should be. The law is very specific. That's part of due process, is that they can't adapt it and expand it at whim. And they can say that they're right in front of that. You were going to say something? Well,
yeah, the anti-hacker law was written in 1984. That was even before the internet existed. It was written in response to a movie. I forgot what the name of that movie was, but Congress mentioned the movie as part of that law. And what the prosecution is doing is they're trying to use a law that was written before the internet existed, before the digital age existed, when computers were just really in their infancy, to cover the digital reality that we have now, and it's really absurd. So we're hoping that the judge will see it that way, and that this will be thrown out, and the rest of us won't have to deal with new precedent, which would put a damper on the freewheeling internet we have now.
There are also, another thing besides precedent that's at stake is definitions. And this one lawyer I was reading said, it's like defining Bitcoin. Well, is it property? Is it funds? And what the prosecution's saying is, well, there shouldn't be a definition, and everything's funds, which means everything's vulnerable to a charge of money laundering. There's no limit.
Right. Any property then could be considered, any transfer of property could be considered money laundering, which is a very Orwellian and frightening thought if you to conceptualize that. But yeah, it seems like this is the story that needs to be more and more told about Ross's case. Is that a lot is writing, and the stakes are pretty high for internet law. Basically, like you said, they haven't written these laws, but they're trying to adapt them in such sort of elastic sort of ways that will maybe ensnare lots of people that you know, that don't have anything to do with the crimes that they're accusing them of. So I think more and more this story needs to be the focus of how we talk to people about Ross and about his case, is that the guilt or innocence of what he did is one part of it, but the other part of it is that this is going to be determine the guilt or innocence of many, many people to come, and we can prevent that now if we just all sort of stand up and support you and your cause and Ross's cause, and help out in any way we can to get people's awareness about this case. I think there is a real lack of awareness, and I think also people are clouded with the suspicions of what these reports of Ross as being involved in these murder for hire plots when they have absolutely no evidence of this. And I think that's something that also needs to be addressed. And after talking to you and getting to know you and getting to know Ross's background, I think it's really important that people sort of hear the other side, because the media has definitely tried to portray Ross in a certain diabolical way, and I think this has really hurt in raising awareness and being able to raise people's attention that they would want to contribute and help out with the case. Do you feel like that has really been a stumbling block for Ross and you to overcome?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I do. Absolutely do. And the thing is, you know, let's face it, it's a lot more exciting for media to talk about a bad guy who does murder for hire. You know, that's sensationalistic, and they're going to run with it.
Right.
And the truth is, what happened was, at the bail hearing, the prosecution used that to say how dangerous Ross was and he shouldn't have bail. And then 3 months later, the exact same prosecutor did not indict him for the murder for hire. And I'm like, well, really? So one lawyer said, well, if they really have him on that, why do they have to take these other laws and shoehorn them and twist them around? Why don't they just accuse him of murder, indict him for murder for hire?
Yeah.
If they have, if it's really true. And yes, there is one indictment languishing in Maryland, and we are very confident that that will go the way of the others because we don't believe it for a minute. But it's done its damage. You know, it's hard to, I think they didn't want Ross to become a hero. And, you know, the whole, thing about Silk Road. And that does,
Right.
change the image, yes. And I mean, anyone who knows Ross and his life and who he is, and then you hear these things like, I think there was some dialogue about, they were writing about what the supposed DPR said. It was, yeah, we're gonna torture him, we're gonna make him sing. And I'm like, I can't imagine Ross talking like that.
Right.
It's like a bad show.
Well, tell us a little about Ross and why you think it's impossible, that's just inconceivable that he would be able to talk like that. Give us a little background about Ross and the Ross you know, and not the Ross the media wants us to know. As far as, he seems like such a warm person to everybody I've talked to about him. Being introduced to some of his high school classmates when this all broke, they were all shocked by this. Maybe tell us a little bit about Ross, growing up with him as your son, and let people know why these murder for hire plots just seem ridiculous.
Well, I would say, first off, that just the whole thing would be a lot easier if Ross wasn't just the outstanding, exceptional person that he is. It's just surreal.
Yeah.
But to go back to what he was like as a kid, every kid has their own personality. I have 3 kids, Lynn and I have 2, and they're all different. Ross was our little Buddha boy.
Very mellow.
He was a mellow baby, and he's always been a mellow guy. And he developed a philosophy of live and let live, nonviolence. That's just the way he's always been. And also he's been very sweet and helpful. Just a lot of different just anecdotes we could tell you, but that's basically a boss.
Right.
He's just a sweet, nice guy.
You know what?
To think of him ordering murders for hire is just insane, really.
I think you'd think of a more creative solution. But,
yeah.
I mean, but, because he's real smart too.
Sure.
But, the other thing about Ross is that he just doesn't, he treats everyone with respect. And that's one reason he's getting along so well in prison. He doesn't, you know, you can be a PhD professor or you could be a homeless guy on the street, and Ross is going to treat you well as a human being. And he just, that's a wonderful quality he has. I've never hardly, I don't know if I've ever heard him say anything bad about anyone. And if I ever was complaining about somebody, he'd go tell Grandma. Don't, you know, you shouldn't complain about somebody that, you know, go tell him. You know, he's got a lot of integrity.
And that's why he's sticking to not folding on any of these things, and probably not giving in to any sort of compromise that they may offer, because I think that integrity is really going to pay off and really going to help him out in the long run.
Well, he's
I really believe
strong.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way we feel too, and we support him completely in that.
Well, we're all here supporting him as well, and we want to continue to support you guys.
Federal government. It's pretty daunting.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. You know, I run a little, you know, radical bookshop, but that's nothing like going up against the man in federal court. So you guys are quite the soldiers, and we all are here in solidarity, and we want to be in touch, and we want to support you as you go through this. And you're not alone, and you have a big hometown crowd here that is only going to grow, and we're all going to sort of do what we can to tell others and plant seeds. And I wanted to let you guys know that we did successfully launch the Indiegogo campaign about 3 hours ago after going through a bit of an editing process. But if you look at it, there's already about $1,300 in the kitty there.
Well,
so
that's great.
in 3 hours, it's not bad. So you give us you give us 60 days. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah, that's always makes a lawyer smile. Is money. So.
Yeah, he's been great, by the way, and he has been so patient. He's like, you know, okay, whatever you can give me, you know, just wait.
Wow.
We're like Joshua Draytell. Joshua Draytell is a constitutional fighter.
Yeah.
He stood up for what the law should be his whole career, and he was attracted to this case because it's going to mean something in our world.
Oh yeah.
We are so blessed to have him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if he's good enough for you guys, he's good enough for us, and we really.
Now look at those motions or the summary, and you'll see he's really going after it.
Yeah, and everybody can read those on freeross.org. You can just go to documents. They're right there on the drop-down menu.
That's full. Yeah. If you want to read legalese for 50 pages, that's there too. Either way.
Or you can read articles and summaries about them. Yeah.
Read my summary.
You can read then summary.
The other way. I didn't just make it up. He said it was okay.
Well, so by the end of the night, we hope to get you closer to that goal of 20,000 that we have on the campaign, and we're hopefully gonna go over that and get you a lot more than that. And I think we got a good team of people that are dedicated to it, and I think our team may get even, our ranks may swell after tonight, after getting to hear from both of you guys. So, so you know, we want to we just want to, you know, do what we can, and I think a lot of misinformation is something we got to overcome in this case. And the only way you can overcome misinformation is by giving the right information. And I think that's our job, and we'll try as best we can to help you out with that. And I think if we can start raising some money and getting you closer to that goal, I think also the media might take notice that there's a community of people out here that aren't buying the BS that the government is shoveling to the press about these murder plots.
You know, it's for all of us, really, because if you start trampling on people's rights, one guy's rights, it's a slippery slope, you know?
Yeah,
So.
Ross's case is a bellwether for where we're at right now, and I think in a way it might be something good for the country that we are able to successfully stop this and create the right kind of precedent.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be able to bully free and independent people with just intimidation and just threats of imprisonment. I think this really will turn out to be a good chapter for in American history. I really feel that way, and I'm so privileged to be a part of it and join you guys.
It's been a wonderful support. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I'm just the lowly monkey that pushes buttons at a bookstore, but I do what I can. And
we all are. We're all caught in this. You know, we're all riding this wave here. No.
Well, I want to. What's that? I want to try to turn this computer around. There's a lot of people in the other room mingling about. Let's see if we can do that. All right, everybody, wave.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh wow, look at you all.
Hi guys.
I love that room.
I was afraid we were going to lose you with this connection here, but we're still here. Okay.
Nice to see you. I can't wait to tell Ross about this.
Yeah.
He was so encouraged.
And we're all going to try to write messages to Ross too, but we got to remember that anything that is in those letters to Ross can be used against him. So we have to be very careful. We just want to give him words of encouragement and let him know that we're here in support of him. And we're going to do that a little later in the evening. We're going to hand out some cards for people to write, and then we're going to package them some way, and so you know you can give them to Ross or send them to Ross.
Send them to him directly each way, however you want to do it.
Okay, I think that would be important. We've done some mail to jail events here at the bookstore, and everybody who's come out has said that was, you know, one of the best days they had in jail. So hopefully we can give Ross a good day in there amongst the really dark ones. So we can.
This time it will be read. It will be read.
Yeah, it will be read. So we got to make sure we just write words of encouragement and tell them how much you know we want him to succeed in this journey. So I think everybody is sort of aware of the delicacy of writing somebody in prison. But anyway, are we gonna?
John's coming on next to do the letter writing.
So we're gonna do the letter writing campaign next. But I want to encourage you both tonight to go to that Indiegogo campaign and maybe share it out there, and we can help put some money in the coffer there and make the lawyer smile some more for that. All right. So this is only the start, and maybe at the end of the campaign we can have a big celebratory event as well, where we invite those 600 people that we turned on to the case here in Austin, and the fire code we can violate for one night and try to cram those people in here. But that's the success I'm sort of looking forward to over the next 2 months, and I'm looking forward to meeting Ross when he's released, and this nonsense is behind him and you guys, and you can go back to living normal Austin lives and not.
Yeah.
It'll return. You'll get there again, and we'll be here with you when you guys return to Austin, and hope to have a big party with you when you come back. Okay?
Absolutely.
Sounds good to you? All right.
See you in Lancaster.
Lancaster Pork Fest, yes. Everybody who hasn't signed up for Pork Fest needs to sign up and try to make it out there and meet Lyn in person. I guarantee you'll fall in love with this woman like I did, and want to help as much as you can like I did. So do it. Everybody just please share the Indiegogo campaign, and go to freeross.org and tell people to read the real story on Ross Ulbricht, and not the media's portrayal of this sweet, sweet guy. Anyway, thank you so much, Lyn and Kirk. Thank you for sending me out with us. We love you. And we're here for you anytime you need anything. Make sure to call me or the bookstore, and we can do something for you if you need it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll be in touch.
You made it all right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.